Alright, so hello everybody. It's been a while, so I figured I might show you guys how you can actually create your own website. Now, it is actually far simpler than you think. So essentially, some of you guys who have watched my previous videos might remember this website right here. This is my personal website I've created using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. And it looks very simple, it's functional, it does the things that I needed to do. And I figured I might show you guys how you can create your own website using HTML, and it's in fact like really easy. You know, I'm going to show you how to make a simple one, and not this isn't as complex as it may seem, but I use JavaScript and stuff, and I'm not gonna cover it, at least as of now. I'm going to cover JavaScript sometime in the future, where I explain how each page, like each part of my website here works. But for now, we're going to focus on creating a simple website, a really simple one that you can use to present yourself in a way on the internet if you want to take it like that. So essentially what you want to do first is you want to get this piece of software called Notepad++. It's a free piece of software. You've seen me use it in a couple of videos actually, in terms of me showing you how to code in C# on the Windows. This is what I use. It's my favorite text editor. Essentially you go to downloads and you pick the latest release, and then you download based on your architecture. So either a 64-bit one or a 42-bit one. It depends up to you. I use the 64-bit one because I use 64-bit Windows, and then you download the installer and you just install it and you're pretty much off to the races. And that's all you have to know. So once you actually install it and open it, this is what you're going to see. It's going to be a blank page, a blank text file. It's going to be called new. It's actually stored as a temporary file, so it actually doesn't exist in your computer. It's actually stored in memory as of now until you save it. So after you've downloaded this, you want to go ahead and close that. So this thing I've opened right here is Github Pages. So my page or my website is hosted in a GitHub repository. In fact, I can show you this really easily. I hope there is. It's actually hosted in a repository which I have on my GitHub profile. And essentially what you want to do is you want to create a new repository. So you just go over here and create new repository. And in the repository name, you want to type in your username first. Then type in github.io. Now it's going to say it already exists, but that's because that I'm using it. But you want to create this, with this part being your username, which you use for logging into it, either in all cap, in just like it's written over here, or with lowercase. I prefer lowercase because then people don't have to figure out how to type it in, because this is going to be used as the URL address for your website. So you just type in this section right here your username. So I'm gonna type in your username and then do .github.io, and then give it a description if you want to, and it has to be public, because if it's not public you can obviously not access it on your website, because that's the point. We want it to be accessible. So once you've done that, you then go ahead and create your repository. And once you create your repository, let me just get back. Whoops, too much. So once you create your repository, it's gonna ask you to upload some files. For now you wanna leave it empty, and I'm gonna later show you how we can upload files to a repository. For now, we're going to leave it blank, but this is where our website will be hosted. I'm then going to show you what you have to enable in order to be able to upload it. Actually, let me show it to you right now. So let's presume that you've already got some stuff in your website. This is my website's architecture. It's one that I prefer using. It's a lot more, I want to say, it's a lot easier to manage because I know where each file is. So you want to then go, once you've uploaded your index.html file, the index.html file is a file that is used as the source file for each website. So when you type in any URL address either it being github.com or google.com, it references this file, the index.html file. At least in HTML5 it does, which is what most of the web is using right now. And the index.html file basically contains all the code for how your website is structured, how it looks, and what it uses. Mine is a bit more complex because I have built it out after a fairly long amount of time, but it doesn't matter now. The thing that matters for you right now is you want to create an index.html file for it to access it. So you want to upload your index.html file. Once you have that file in there, you want to go into settings right here. It's gonna load, give it some time, and once it loads you want to scroll down. Here you'll see GitHub Pages. It will ask you to pick the repository, and once you pick the repository it's going to ask you from which branch. So you want to pick the master branch, and then you click to set it like a website. You cannot see it here, but you will see a button where you pick your branch. I recommend that you have it in a single branch for easier management, like I do. I have it in my master branch because it's easier to manage. And then you want to pick I think it's the publish button or something like that. And it will be a button right next to it basically. And it's actually over here, actually explained on this site. So if you go to pages.github.com, they actually show you a step-by-step thing that you have to do. So you want to create a repository, obviously with your username, and then .github.io as I mentioned on the GitHub, and then create the repository. Again, this shows you how to do things. I'm not going to show it you through the terminal stuff because I do not have Linux installed. But you can do this through the terminal or through the GitHub desktop app, or you can just upload the files normally. It's much easier that way, and it's the most simple way to do. They don't show you one of the steps, but essentially what you need to do is you wanna once you do that, you wanna pick that it picks the master branch, because that's important, because if you do not do that, it's not gonna work essentially, because it's going to be in there but you won't be able to access it. So you want to click the master branch and then like let it use it for the GitHub Pages, because this is the section where you pick your source for your website essentially. So it's going to access that branch and look for the index.html file in order to load the website essentially. Once you've done that, you should be able to access your website by typing in your username .github.io. Once you enter it out, it should load up with your website. In fact, let me show it to you right here, right now, live. So you type in your username .github.io, you enter it out, and then it should open up the website. Bear in mind that some changes take some time to get applied because it uses the GitHub Pages framework. So it takes a bit of time to apply the changes, so just be patient. If you wait it out for like 1 to 2 minutes, if not longer, then the changes will be applied. It just takes a little bit of time. With this explained, we can go actually ahead and I'm going to assume that you've created your repository and that you have everything prepared so we can start creating our actual website. So going to put this down. So you might notice I have a file right here. This file is actually a picture I took a while back, and we're going to use that, but I'm going to mention it when we use it. So what you want to do now is you want to create a new folder on your desktop. So right click your desktop and create a new folder. We're going to name it website, because why not? It's our website. So now you open the website folder and you'll see that it's completely empty, which is what we want because we don't want anything else in there. So let me just resize this a little so you guys can see everything. So in our website folder, we want to right click and we want to create a new text document. Now since we're on Windows, I actually might show you this. So you want to go to, I think it was File, change folder and search options. and you want to go to view, and you should see file types. Yeah, here it is. You want to untick this, hide extensions to known file types. You want to untick that, and once you untick that, you click OK, and it will show you the .txt, .html, which is what we want, because we're going to change this to index.html. We're going to pick yes to change it, and you'll notice that it will change to the icon of your default web browser. This is normal, this is fine, this is what we want. So one thing I like doing if I'm working on something like this, I like to open my text editor on one half of the site, and then open my then open like the actual site itself. So let me just drag this over in order to open it. In order to open it, just drag it into your web browser and it will open. You'll be able to tell that it's open by looking up here. You'll see that it writes out the path to the file itself. So I'm going to move this into its separate window right here. I'm going to tile this along with my text editor so you can see what the changes we are doing are happening. So with all of this prepared, let me open up the folder so you guys can see what we've actually done here. So as of now, we have just this one file in here, which is the base for our website, and that's pretty much all you need basically to create a really simple and minimalistic website, which is more than enough depending on what you want to do. But that's enough for now. This is just the setup. In the next part of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to actually get into coding itself. It isn't that complicated. I just want to be able to show you guys how you can start creating your own website. First, we have just set up our environment. I hope to see you guys really soon, where we are going to discuss how we can set up, how we can start coding our actual website itself. So yeah, I'll see you guys till then.